Welcome, guys. So today we are going to talk about some philosophy before we go on a hike. On before we go tour. But yeah, we got philosophy here. We're gonna talk about Seneca, Stoic philosophy, Nietzsche, hating Stoicism. So you have like when you think of philosophy, you usually think of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. But then you have philosophers like Nietzsche, who doesn't like Stoicism, who thinks it's kind of like coping with life's cruelty. And then he Nietzsche is more about elitism, like you need to will your will into existence. Like Stoicism is like working with other people, and then Nietzsche's like no, like Nietzsche didn't like weak people. Like the dude, he called himself as the Antichrist. Like I know it's a Sunday, but yeah, we have philosophers like Nietzsche calling him the Antichrist, calling himself the Antichrist. Not that he was against Jesus, but that he saw that the world, because of science, was declining into Christian values. Like Christian values were declining, and then Nietzsche just he lived a pretty painful life, and yeah, he had like body pain, and similar to a lot of Stoic philosophers encountered torture, exile, misfortune, and yeah, that's what made them, I guess, go to philosophy and overcome those obstacles. But yeah, but yeah, welcome, guys. If you guys are new, like and subscribe. We cover the stock market Monday through Friday, and we talk about philosophy also. So if you guys are new, like and subscribe. But yeah, we're gonna talk a lot about different types of philosophers, like Marcus Aurelius and his meditations, Epictetus and his teachings on control and acceptance, the Stoic concept of amor fati, love of fate. Seneca was that was something Nietzsche actually liked. He liked the Stoics' love of fate, how you should enjoy whatever fate throws at you. And then also Nietzsche's concept of the Uberman, basically not breaking your principles on circumstances. Basically, don't let circumstances break your principles, that you should be firm in your beliefs. And a lot of people compare this to like athletes, to like sports athletes. Like you could say they're Ubermensch, and that's pretty cool. And then you have Schopenhauer's idea of the will to live and its connection to suffering. So Schopenhauer is a very interesting philosopher. I recently found out about him. He had some interesting ideas about suffering. Yeah, he just explained how people crave, they find fulfillment, and then they despair, and then basically he's like, don't be adrift in the void, and then try to find connection, meaning and purpose, and not like just shallow chatter. So he said that caring for others is the best thing in life, and that we are all finite beings. That these thoughts, yeah, these are thoughts from like Schopenhauer, and then yeah, just relentless optimism. Pretty cool. Anyways, how are you guys doing? Um, so we're gonna talk about Schopenhauer's view of on art as it means of transcending suffering. He saw like if you have a hobby, like an art of drawing, like just drawing as a hobby, that's pretty cool. Schopenhauer applauded that. Um, the influ- um, the influence on Stoicism on modern cognitive behavior therapy. There's a lot of talk about this, about not like I guess cognitive behavior therapy. I've been seeing a lot more videos about putting philosophy and cognitive therapy, literally, like mm, like how can I say this? Excuse me. The influence of Stoicism on modern cognitive behavior therapy. So I've seen videos talking about behavior therapy. So like in today's world, we are wrapped a lot in marketing campaigns, promise, like like basically marketing campaigns that are overloading us cognitively. Like everywhere you go is an ad, right? You see an ad everywhere, and then it's just overwhelms you, and then people call this like decision fatigue over time. And then basically our culture is one that promises salvation through consumption, and I guess philosophy, and this is why people feel empty, because they're trying to fill the void through consumerism. This is just my interpretation, but what do you guys think? Well, but yeah, let's see. We're also going to talk about stoicism and existentialism, search for meaning, the rule of logos, reason in Stoic philosophy, the Stoic practice of negative visualization, the Stoic practice of negative visualization. How do you say this? Is this ancient Greek or Rome? I don't know what language is this. Premeditario malorum. Premeditario malorum. A Stoic exercise that involves imagining potential problems and preparing for the worst case scenario. Nietzsche's critique of morality as a tool for the weak. Schopenhauer's permission and his critique for optimism. Oh. Yeah, if you read Schopenhauer's work, he's pretty negative. Like, the guy is pretty negative. Schopenhauer, pretty pessimistic dude. And then the Stoic idea of harmony with nature. So this is the idea of, like, being a good person despite, like, everything around you. Like, you should strive to be a good person. It's just concept of Dionism versus Apollo. I don't know about this. I don't know much about this, but we are definitely going to go over this. It represents harmony, progress, clarity, logic, and the principles of individuation. So if you guys watch anime, Gojo and Sukuna, pretty individualistic characters. Like, yeah, individuation. Sports athletes, individuation. So Nietzsche prioritized that rather than, like, working in harmony with people. Nietzsche was like, you gotta be your own person and, like, rise above the rest. Like, your will to power. Like, your will needs to be strong. That's Nietzsche's view. Then Schopenhauer's influence on existentialists like Sartre and Camus. I don't know much about that either, but we'll definitely talk about this. The Stoic idea of indifference towards external events. Nietzsche's generology of morals and its implications for understanding. Oh yeah, Nietzsche also went past. The reason Nietzsche is controversial is because he is.
I was actually just testing weapons, and then I realized now I'm leveling up what?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Maybe take the full bar out. Take the full bar out, so that way they don't blame it on that.
Yeah.
Okay. I know it's not bad, huh?
No, it's
You
not.
haven't been doing pull-ups.
I know.
Schopenhauer's influence on existentialists like Sartre and Camus. The Stoic idea of indifference, apatheia towards external events. So this is a very interesting idea. Apatheia, like literally, like
What?
You can tell I took it out.
Really? Why? Why?
Look.
What?
Spiderweb.
Nietzsche's genealogy of morals and its implications for understanding of history, the concept of eudaimonia, flourishing or happiness in Stoic thought. Wow, this is a very cool. This is
That one guy, remember?
Okay.
That repair guy?
Oh.
the concept of eudaimonia, flourishing or happiness in Stoic thought. The philosophical implications of economic inequality. We're kind of seeing this right now. The philosophical implications of economic inequality. We can talk a whole live stream about this, guys. We can talk about a whole stream about this. Like economic inequality with AI and automation, like sheesh. And like it's either going to be we're either gonna fumble AI for like a decade and people are gonna be like freaking out, or we're going to thrive and there's going to be abundance. But yeah, of economic inequality, primarily catering around social justice, fairness, individual merits, and the role of governments in distribution of wealth. Do you guys think universal basic income is going to be a thing in our lifetime? Do you guys think universal basic income will be a thing? Are we all just going to be Bitcoin millionaires? Like, how much is Bitcoin right now? Bitcoin is at 100K. Do you guys think we're all just going to have like digital lives in the future? We're all just be in the digital age, playing video games, making art online, talking online. It's all digital now. Anyways, the philosophical implications of economic inequality are definitely going to be massive. We're seeing this. I believe America has 7 million people unemployed. And with AI, when AI takes like trucking jobs and like customer service jobs, like it's going to be like 30 million. Like I don't know if these corporations have learned. Like we've had two major controversies in like a few weeks, right? We had the healthcare CEO, hopefully. Like I was shocked at how bloodthirsty people are. That's pretty telling of the times. And the insurance scam of the fire in California. So people in California are talking about the wildfires, how they lost their homes, and now we have insurance company stocks crashing. So people have no faith in insurance companies right now, and then because they don't have money, or they have too much money. It's so weird. They either have no money when they need it, like the fires, or they have too much money, like in healthcare. Like, jeez, we're really, and you notice how one of them was in the East Coast and one of them's in the West Coast. That's pretty crazy. So in the East Coast, they had too much money, the healthcare stuff. West Coast, they don't have enough money to cover the fires that were lost in the California fires. Wow. And apparently with climate change, it might get worse. Like, have you guys seen Interstellar? I believe it takes place in like 2060s. Like, they've had massive they just the natural wildfires just kept getting worse and worse each year in Interstellar. So I was like, I wonder if in the next decades, we're going to see we're going to see an increase in wildfires. What do you guys think? What? Anyways, let's talk about the Stoic principles can guide investments decisions and risk management. Nietzsche's view of power dynamics and their parallels in modern economics. Wow, Nietzsche's views on power dynamics and their parallels on modern economics. If you notice, like, the world's becoming more globalized. Like, right? And now we could talk about that. Schopenhauer's The Concept of the Will and its analogy to market behavior. Interesting. On mind and matter. The ethics of capitalism through Stoic lens. We could definitely talk about that. The role of rationality, logos in both philosophy and financial markets. The tension between short-term gains and long-term vision in markets compared to Stoic endurance. Nietzsche's critique of the herd mentality and its relevance to investor behavior. Ooh, these are like what some of the best investors say. When people are greedy, sell. When people are fearful, buy. And like, if a stock is gaining bullish momentum, a lot of investors are saying like it's pretty much already over. But we'll talk about that more. So let's keep talking. Schopenhauer's view on human desires and their impacts on economic systems. Ooh, human desires and their impacts on economic systems. We can definitely talk about that because we definitely live in a consumerism world. Everyone really is trying to fill the void with consumerism. At least most people. The Stoic practice of memento mori to career and financial planning. Huh? Really? The moral dilemma of wealth distribution and social responsibility. Stoic views on wealth as neither inherently good nor bad. Yeah, a lot of the Stoic philosophers were rich because they worked hard. Like Seneca was an advisor. Marcus Aurelius was an emperor. Some of them were teachers. I believe Zeno, he was rich before he became a philosopher. And then his ship crashed with all of his money and he lost everything. And then Schopenhauer's focus on suffering and how economic disparity exacerbates it. Yeah, definitely. We could definitely talk about this. Schopenhauer's pessimistic philosophy includes a view of happiness as a negotiation of pain, while suffering is a positive, palpable, and present phenomenon. In contrast, he also views constant striving to be a necessity in every aspect of life. Where does he talk about the economy here? Where does he talk about the economy? I guess. Oh, wealth disparity. Wealth disparity. Focus on suffering and economic disparity. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but when people don't have money, they're typically not in the best position, right, in life. I don't know if you guys figured this out, but let's see. The Stoic views on wealth as neither inherently good nor bad. Yeah, money is not good or bad. I think it's the wanting and like worshiping it. But that isn't good or bad, because some people use that to like help a lot of people. So you can't really say help. And now, back then you could, but now, like, everything's so globalized. Like, I feel like it's like a necessity, right? So, the ethical role of governments in addressing inequality, I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think that's wishful thinking. Addressing inequality. I unfortunately think it's going to get worse. I think the rich are going to get richer and the poor are going to get poorer. I mean, you see this in all the states. It's pretty crazy. But who knows? A lot of people really like crypto. Crypto is making a lot of people rich. It could, like these these altcoins and Bitcoin, they're all making people rich in like days. So pretty cool. I mean, I feel like this will only be possible like only for like a few more years, dude. Like I don't think I don't think meme coins will be a thing. Okay, the potential of economic inequality and stifle innovation the potential of economic inequality to stifle innovation and creativity. So persistent inequality has the potential to reduce opportunities for future innovators and adversely impact social mobility. I think you're right. Definitely. The psychological impacts of wealth inequality. Ooh, yeah, there's also psychological impacts. I feel like people with no wealth just become there's a lot of people on like YouTube and TikTok that always say this. Like, if you grew up poor, you're kind of like stingy with your money. Like you're afraid of like not having money, so you're like a saver or something. But yeah, the psychological impacts of wealth inequality on happiness and contentment, definitely. Like not having money has an impact on your happiness and contentment. So Nietzsche's idea of the will to power in economic ambition. I think a lot of us have this, but our will to power is like our will to, I guess, to, I don't know, become a Bitcoin millionaire right now. I think we're living in an age where like so many people are getting rich off of crypto that it's wild. The role of education in bridging wealth gaps. Ooh, education, that one kind of stings, right? You even have billionaires complaining that the universities have failed their students. You're saying that they prioritized wealth diversity instead of creating good students. So we have a lot of people with student loans, thousands of student loans, and now where are they at? Like They're not using their degrees, unfortunately. At one point, I wanted to be an archaeologist, but then I realized there's like 12 jobs on Earth that exist in archaeology, and I'm like, okay, that's not gonna happen. So yeah. So Stoic principles in investment decisions and risk management. Ooh, definitely. Nietzsche's views on power dynamics in modern economics. Schopenhauer's concept of the will to power in market behavior, the ethics of capitalism through Stoic lens, rationality, logic, and philosophy in financial markets, short-term gains versus long-term vision markets in Stoic endurance. Ooh, definitely. Yeah, the danger of impulsive trades in pursuit of quick profits. You could definitely say this is an issue for a lot of day traders because day traders, 95% of people that day trade lose money. Like, how? How do you guys lose? Like, aren't you supposed to have like thousands of dollars in your trading account? And that's just tragic. I hope you guys make money. But yeah, I think day trading is basically gambling, guys. Long term investing as an exercise in stoic patience. True. Prioritizing sustainable growth over immediate gratification, accept delayed rewards as part of the market cycles, avoid market's noise, and focusing on core principles. Yeah, a lot of people are saying passive investing is the best investing. It doesn't really matter what the news says. Just put an extra amount of money, whatever you have, and yeah, invest it. Avoiding market noise and focusing on core principles, aligning financial goals with personal values, viewing long-term investments as a practice of endurance. Again, we saw that. Stoic principles of unforeseen market endurances, avoid the pitfalls of market speculation. Ooh, this is a dangerous one. Like, sometimes you guys recommend me some stocks, and I'm like, why would you invest in this? Like, why would you guys invest in this stock? But yeah, you guys send me these stocks. Anyways, the psychological benefits of steady investment. We could also. Ooh, okay. So we're gonna talk a lot about this. So how herd behavior leads to speculative bubbles. Ooh, that is so true. We can talk about this too. Come on, guys. There's so much to talk about. That's insane. Jeez. Wow. The will to live in other markets, survival instincts, human desire, endless striving in the market. Wow. The role of it. No. Investors' psychology as a reflection of Schopenhauer's pessimism. Speculative bubbles as manifestations of irrational will. Ooh. Ooh, an irrational will. I like that. I like when they put it like that. Of an irrational will. That's cool. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Hell yeah. The will to live as an analogy for market survival instincts. So endless striving markets akin to Schopenhauer's view of human desire, the irrational behavior in market ethics, the primary of will, cycles of boom and busts as expressions of unfulfilled desire. Ooh. Definitely talk about that. The illusion of satisfaction through material wealth. Wow, delusion of satisfaction through material wealth. The role of competition as a driver for perpetual struggle. Nice, nice. how market trends mirror collective desire and fears. Wow. I think the biggest struggle I think right now in the world is artificial intelligence. Who's the leader in AI right now, guys? Who is the leader in artificial intelligence?
Kuya, what did you do? What did you do?
What?
You finished the chip?
Yep.
Nice.
you're gonna buy?
Now which one should I do?
Maybe. Well, what's that one? Phone the X. Comet. 52 intelligence. Thing I don't know what it is earlier. Which ones are? Dang, I didn't know there was configurations. What are they? All of them?
What? This?
Yeah. Up. No. Yeah. Next. Next. Great Flintstone shirt. Next. Flintstone comic shirt. Next. That's crazy. Get a meteorite of us stuff. Oh, we need 55 intelligence.
That's how much I have.
You have. How much do you have? 36?
I think that's 50.
Oh, dang. Oh, crazy. That's cool. Very good. Get the arrows. Oh, you have that one.
Which one?
The down. Down.
Yeah.
That looks crazy.
Which one?
Down. That one. I put a low gravitation on this one.
This one?
Yeah.
And it's done?
That's fun. Are you gonna use a bubble?
Yeah.
Dang. Oh, you're gonna fight Vale right now?
Should I?
What?
What?
Where'd you get that weapon?
I've shown you this!
Let me see. Dang. Anvil hammer plus 7. Is also one of the treasures of the ruined forge. Tremendous hammer that incorporates hit the red hot anvil of the sword. It is said the anvil shape is inspired by that of an object. The longboat was indeed used as such in rite and ritual. Smithing art spears slammed the red hot anvil into the ground, sending up countless spears as it pulled out these spears executed instantly. Dang, it's crazy. So it's like my colossal meteorite ore sword.
Which is that one?
The one
Which one's that one?
the one that used to beat the flower.
The Blake boat?
Yeah. Blink boat.
Oh, yeah.
Blink boat?
Yeah.
That's what you call it?
Yeah.
Oh, this whole time when you said blink boat, I thought you meant because there's an actual word called blink boat. You know when the twisting lightning?
Uh-huh.
You know when you go with the lightning and then do the thing? There's an actual word called blink boat where it's just the lightning that
Yeah, that's right.
Oh no, I meant the black one, the
Yeah.
one with the white,
Uh-huh.
the white one. The one-
I know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This one's kind of cool, huh?
Yeah.
These are two.
R2?
Yeah.
Not even actual war?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then when you hit them, it kind of gleams purple.
That's
Cool, huh?
Yeah. That's what you're gonna use.
This one is Smith, so. Take out the envelope. Where's the end?
That's crazy. You're heavy low?
Yeah.
Need that jar. I started that thing.
Still.
Remember you should take it up?
You're on break. Should I play like this or without it? Without it.
We didn't see that.
Welcome, guys. What do you guys want to talk about? All right. We could talk about Schopenhauer's philosophy on the will to live. It can be linked to the survival instincts that drive like the stock market. Like just as the will to live propels humans to persist, reproduce, and fight against existential threats, the market functions as a battleground where individuals and companies can strive to maintain their existence and grow in a competitive environment.
Yeah. We'll have to change the strategy, huh?
Yeah.
We'll have to use
This relentless drive for survival leads to decisions motivated by fear of failure and the desire for perpetually pursuing an aggressive competition, risk taking, and a constant push for dominance. In both the market and in life, its primal force creates an ongoing struggle that drives behavior, often clouding rational decision making with an innate drive for self preservation. So, endless striving in markets, akin to Schopenhauer's view of human desire. Schopenhauer's view of human life is as an endless cycle of striving, driven by desire, where each fulfilled wish merely gives rise to new desires. Okay, so Schopenhauer says so this is what happens when investors make a lot of money and they think they're a genius. Or they invest in a meme coin and they think they're a genius. So they made a lot of money, right? In this random meme coin, in Pepe coin. And then that gives new desires, perpetuating, according to Schopenhauer, a state of dissatisfaction that aligns with the nature of market dynamics or economic dynamics, where the pursuit of profit or growth becomes an ongoing cycle of ambition. Market participants, whether investors, corporations, or consumers, are constantly striving for more, whether it's higher returns, market share, or consumption. Similar to Schopenhauer's view of human desire, the market's endless striving creates a sense of relentless restlessness and dissatisfaction, and as achieving one goal simply spawns new desires, perpetuating the cycle of unfulfilled wants. How irrational behavior in markets reflects the primacy of the will. In Schopenhauer's philosophy of the will is an irrational the will is an irrational blind force that drives human behavior. Often overrides reason and logic. So the will to live is saying overrides reason and logic. This irrationality is mirrored in market behavior, where emotional impulses, fear, greed, panic, euphoria, for sure, fear when investors start selling their stocks, greed when investors keep like buying more of that stock, panic, they sell, euphoria, you're like, yeah, like making like a crazy hype cycle, frequently lead to decisions that defy rational analysis. Investor psychology often succumbs to the powerful influence of the will, leading to speculative bubbles. We see that in the dot-com bubble. When the internet happened, everyone in the internet was making so much money. Any website you made so much money. And then it created a bubble. And I feel like they were kind of like they're in AI. We're in the AI bubble. Overconfidence or mass sell-offs. The primary of the will is markets demonstrates the the primacy of the will in markets demonstrates how human desires and instincts often govern actions in ways that are not always aligned with logical economic principles. So wait, let's read that again. The primary will in the markets demonstrates how human desires and instinct govern actions in ways that are not always aligned with logic. Ooh, that's so true. When the stock is rallying, it doesn't always align with logic and economic principles, resulting in market inefficiencies and irrational behavior. That's so true. People are irrational and they're like, you know what? I'm gonna invest in this stock right here. It's gonna have incredible volume. So definitely pretty cool. Anyways, the cycles of boom and bust as expressions of unfulfilled desire. Ooh, again, desire. This is what makes the stock market. Shoo. Okay. The cycles of boom and bust as expressions of unfulfilled desires. Schopenhauer's concept of desire, which leads to continual striving and dissatisfaction, can be applied to the cycles of boom and busts in financial markets. The boom represents a temporary period of fulfillment where desires are seemingly satisfied, but in the short-lived because the will always demands more. As the market moves towards bust, unfulfilled desires and unrealistic expectations lead to despair, causing a correction. The cycle of boom and bust reflects the transient satisfaction of human desire. Oh, so desire is transient. Like the desire of people is always transient, always shifting, is what Schopenhauer is saying. That's so true. You can see this in New Year's resolutions. The desire to become a new person is very strong in New Year's, and then the will becomes weak over time. If you don't have discipline, the weak the will becomes weak, and then people stop going to the gym. So yeah, desire is transient. Each cycle driven as an initial belief that wealth or success will bring lasting contentment, only to be followed by the inevitable return of dissatisfaction in the next cycle of striving. So the illusion of satisfaction through material wealth, per Schopenhauer. Schopenhauer argued that material wealth can never lead to true satisfaction because the will is never truly satisfied. It merely shifts focus from one desire to another. Okay, so the will shifts focus from one desire to another. In the context of a market, wealth emulation is often viewed as a means to happiness or fulfillment, yet it fails to provide lasting contentment. As individuals or corporations accumulate wealth, the sense of satisfaction is fleeting, and the desire for more grows stronger. This aligns to Schopenhauer's view that material wealth can never quit the underlying drive of the will, relieving individuals perpetually seeking more, unable to achieve lasting peace or fulfillment through external means. Okay. All right, guys. Now, the role of competition as a driver of perpetual struggle. Competition in the market serves as a manifestation of the will, an endless struggle for dominance, resource, and status. Schopenhauer believes that human life is defined by his constant striving, and the market functions as a microcosm of the universal truth. Competition, whether between individuals, companies, or nations, fuels the desire for superiority and the material success, pushing market participants to continually expand, innovate, and outmaneuver their competitors. This perpetual struggle reflects the nature of the will in human existence, where satisfaction is elusive and the drive for victory never ceases, no matter the cost of eventual outcome. How market trends mirror collective desires and fears. Ooh, so depending on market trends, we are seeing collective desires and fears. Market trends often reflect the collective desires and fears of investors, consumers, and societies at large. Schopenhauer's philosophy suggests that human beings are driven by deep, unconscious desires that shape their behavior, even when they cannot be fully articulated or understood. Similarly, in the market, trends are influenced by mass psychology, collective optimism, leading to bull markets, and collective pessimism, causing crashes. These trends mirror the primal desire of anxieties of participants as the will of the collective manifests through fluctuations sentiment in sentiment, often creating self-fulfilling prophecies of boom and busts. Investor psychology as a reflection of Schopenhauer's pessimism. Investor psychology as a reflection of Schopenhauer's pessimism reflects especially in times of market downturns or crisis. The inherent dissatisfaction and anxiety that Schopenhauer describes as a part of human condition is evident in the ways that investors react to market volatility. When faced with losses, the will drives fear, frustration, and despair, leading to irrational decision making. This pessimism can exacerbate downturns as investors act out of emotional impulses rather than irrational analysis. Schopenhauer's view of human nature, one driven by dissatisfaction and fleeting desires, echoes in the way of market participants, often react of short-term fluctuations, heightening fears and intensifying market crisis. Speculative bubbles. Okay, so this definitely, when investors sell, when we see crashes in the stock market, it drives fear. People are like, I'm just gonna sell my stocks, or they're frustrated, which leads to like bad decision making, or they despair, which also leads to bad decision making. So leading to irrational decision making. Exactly. So this pessimism can exaggerate downturns as investors act out of emotional impulses rather than rational analysis. Schopenhauer's view of human nature, one driven by dissatisfaction and fleeting desires, echoes in the way market participants often react in short-term fluctuations, heightening fears and intensifying market crises. For real, like when there's a massive crash, investors just make it worse. Like they just sell everything. Like, and we're also going to talk about speculative bubbles as manifestations of an irrational will. So a lot of us think AI is going to change the economy. It's definitely going to change it. It's definitely going to change the economy. Just not now. Like right now, we're still like internet strong, or AI strong. Like the only strong thing I think right now is like ChatGPT, right? Is there anything others like? Is there another AI that you guys use besides Adobe? Besides, okay, let's keep moving. Speculative bubbles in the markets are a clear manifestation of irrational will. These bubbles, investors are driven not by rational analysis, but a collective desire, an intense longing for wealth and success that overrides logic. So, a longing for wealth and success overrides logic. We see this with meme coins, with penny stocks. The will becomes fixated on the prospects of increased value, a self-reinforcement cycle of rising prices, excessive optimism, and irrational exuberance. Ooh, exuberance is also a big one. Exuberance. Ultimately, the will's insatiable nature leads to a crash as the bubble bursts, as the illusion of endless growth shatters. Schopenhauer's views these bubbles as expressions of the blind, irrational forces of the will, which constantly fuels the desires without any genuine satisfaction or fulfillment. Damn, so This is trying to fight the feeling of emptiness, right? The irrational. Anyways, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Strategies for transcending market anxieties. Ooh, there's definitely anxieties. Like this is like, dude, like guys, this is your livelihood. You're gonna have anxieties. Like, why? Don't follow me for advice. Like, if you want to spend your money on a meme coin, go ahead. If you want to invest it in a penny stock, go ahead. But penny stocks, historically, they will crash. They will surge like crazy for a few days and crash. Yeah, and crash. All right. We'll end it, guys. We'll end the